You see silly questions like, is the house was burning?
And you had to save your husband or your child. Who will you save?
Please, can we stop bringing up those kind of silly scenarios? No, really now.
Yeah, people, welcome back to the Yeye Talk Podcast. And yes, so there is a lot of story on ground that we're about to look into today on the Yeye Trends. Your beautiful queens are seated powerfully to bring you all the juicy gist and of course say the truth and nothing but the truth. And you know now, my girl Mide would always be here. Of course, maybe not always.
Yeah, we need to clear that. Maybe not always. Sometimes if we fight now, if she should do something that upsets me, I feel talks I won't do the show.
This union, you know that there is nothing you can do about it. We are stuck together for life.
Well, for life, baby.
She finally agrees. But people, if you are tuning in for the first time or watching us for the first time, you know this is Yeye Talk Podcast. And your beautiful M, your double M. My name is Moya. She's me. They together. We'll make up the double M and we'll bring you sweet conversation. You know, every time you see us sitting relaxed like the queens that we are.
Yes.
You already know that it's about to get lit. And today we're taking you around the mentality of people, the crazy stories that we are touchlighting. I mean, not touchlighting now, the crazy stories that we have been observing.
Right.
And we feel like, these things cannot pass by.
Without us
Without
talking
your
about
queens
that's why
talking about it. That's why we're here. Because, as the whole twist have they look and say, we have to talk about it. If the stories are crazy, we are crazier.
Did you just say that? I don't know what it is.
But I'm sure you guys get what we're saying, right? We just saw these things and we thought, babe, we'll go face camera.
Maybe face camera.
Maybe we talk our own mindset inside all of these things where they happen. And I know that you're ready for the gist. You're ready to also share your opinion and your thoughts with us because, we need you. We can't do all the talking and not want to hear from you. Yeah. So as we are talking about it here, we are hoping that you'll also be engaging with us in the comment section.
Yes.
And let us know your thoughts about those crazy stories that we found. And we're starting with the rather soft one. It might be soft to us and not soft to the people that are watching. But whatever the case is, this story about women having to do so much to prove a point is what we are about to start with on the Yeye Trends today. Mide, Shena. Now, I don't know. Is it a crime that we are females? Is it a crime that we have come in this gender? Because what is this thing where a lot of people would expect you to do so much to prove that you're worthy of what you have, or you're even worthy to own more than what you have? And if you're wondering where I'm going with this, I'm sure you all have seen, since the Big Brother Naija All-Stars, there's been a lot of gist here and there. And we've had, just recently, we saw a clip of Messi aka breaking down.
Yeah.
Narrating how a lot of people did not support our calls in the Big Brother Naija show because they feel she's a woman and she shouldn't be dreaming that much. She shouldn't be aiming for that much. She shouldn't be wanting so much.
For the context, she mentioned that it was because she won during her set. And so wanting to win the 120 million naira. And that's so wanting to be a winner twice is too much of an aspiration to aspire for.
Hey.
Left to me, I'm like, why? What is our definition of too much?
Do you understand? Like that's even the question we need to start asking right now. Is it that there is a bar?
What about you talk? Dangote still they find money.
Do you get?
So who be Messi? Okay, we should not go still find more money.
Do you understand, Abby? Why is it that there is a bar? Like they've already crossed the line. I see this line. No, this is the line that you cannot cross as a woman. You shouldn't cross this bar. I don't know if it makes sense. And to be very honest, I think I'm one of those people who at the initial stage thought that Messi was doing a bit too much, to be fair. Because I'm like, okay, girl, you need to calm down with this winner narrative. I'm a winner. I've come to prove a point and all that stuff. But, later on, sitting back and having watched different people paint several narratives about her being on the show or making the decision to return to the show now got me thinking, okay, what is this girl's crime, Safe? What is her crime?
People keep forgetting she was not the only one-time winner on that show. White Money was there, and like she rightly said, the energy that was given to her was not reciprocated
towards White Money.
And so, and she's like, is it because I'm a woman and he's a man, so it's okay for him to be able to
dream
higher than me? And I think this whole narrative also stems from the fact that, yes, because women are supposedly the weaker vessel, and so it makes the world feel like it's for anything a woman aspires to be, anything she wants to achieve, she has to constantly
it must be in the confines
and it must be in the confines of what the man has, or in the box that a man
has put her
in. And it's so annoying, because I think what people need to understand first is we're first humans before the gender label.
Yes.
Exactly. We're first humans before the gender label. Because as a man, if my woman is making it big, it means say we say go chop out of this.
That the chopping worry.
As a woman, if my man is making it big,
it's our win.
It's our win. So it's really good when you view this as it's a world for equality, where whether a man or a woman, they win, just know that it is going to go round.
And I think it also brings forward the bitter ex kind of narrative as well, because we also have an ex on the other side who was also on the show, and I didn't even know Ike's intention, because I know I heard him say it on the show, right, at some point where he kept going on and on about as long as not be messy, win am. As long as not be messy, win am.
And what is it about?
You know, I was also wondering, I thought it was a joke initially until after the show, when another person won, and then it went online with tweets around, he's the queen maker. He made Ilebaye win. It was what he did. And I think after Messi even broke down on the show she had an interview with, he also went on social media to kind of give some shade around. And I'm like, what was ever this girl's offense? And it wasn't just the bitter ex narrative. Also had ex-housemate who also felt like she shouldn't be crowned a winner because maybe she's had too much already, or she has too much already, and it's not supposed to be a birthright, right? It's not a birthright. It's not something that has to come your way. And I'm wondering, if someone is working hard for something, I mean, some people have opinion about, she didn't give too much on the show. She was playing safe. But at the end of the day, when you ask yourself, every other person that was on that show, what exactly did they bring to the table that is so fantastic? I mean, she acted, she tried to win games, she was present when she should. She gave us a bit of drama. So it wasn't even about what she did or did not do on the show.
It was now
a matter of
mercy.
And she shouldn't win.
She shouldn't win. She doesn't deserve to win. She doesn't deserve to aim more. And I'm even beginning to think that is it now really a gender thing, or is it a vendetta against Mercy
as a person? It's dicey. It's really dicey, because looking at it now, right? Another woman won, so that's why I said it's dicey. We had 3 women at the final. So it's not like it was a war against women, quote and unquote. But there is still a direct war against a woman whose only reason a lot of people felt she shouldn't be crowned is because they feel like there is already a bar and a woman should not get that height or get to that height at this present time.
In my opinion, I wouldn't even exactly put it that way as far, because it's a woman, she shouldn't get to attain to towards that level of success. I think for me, it's a thing of being vocal. I think the world or people probably had a thing against her being vocal and audacious about
what she wants.
Because I think they expected her to play the humble card. As far anyway, I don't win them before. So if this
if it no come.
And then the question is, she entered Big Brother house. Did you think she went there to play?
Did I leave everything for 3 months to be here to play?
So why is it okay for one person to aspire just because they want, and it's not okay? Like, I'm like, no.
And as much as a lot of people saw it as not being humble on her part to be vocal about wanting to win or wanting to be the champion or being crowned the second time. I mean, I think she even made statement like, I'm here to make a point and all that stuff. While a lot of people might be offended by that, right? I think it would have also been some kind of way watching her say, oh, I'm just here anyway. Because, I mean, where then do we now place or put the place of affirmation
I think at the end of the day,
speaking positive? Because I feel like she was just speaking positive, right?
Positive, exactly. I think at the end of the day, human beings are insatiable. Because if she had played the whole humble card and tried to play on people's emotions, it's the same thing people were accusing Ilebaye of.
Right.
People's emotions.
Right.
So now,
playing the victim.
Exactly. One person playing the victim, the other person being very ambitious and audacious.
And saying, this is what I want.
What she wants. And it's like, people are always going to find fault in whichever approach. So at the end of the day, please just do you. And speaking of doing you, she made a statement still in that interview talking about how she doesn't really think. Apologies to Perry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, nobody should come for me, please. But like, she made a statement, and it's her choice, really, saying that she doesn't even think she wants to get married. She just wants to have a kid because she gives out so much love, right?
Doesn't get as much in return.
And she also feels like once she has a kid, and through surrogacy she said by surrogacy, and once she has a kid, she feels like she's going to pour out all
so
her
much love
that she doesn't think she would have enough left to be able to give to another man. So again, this is a woman that knows what she wants, and she's being vocal about it, and I love it for her, because I'm like, in as much as people are trying to shut you out and shut you off, she will still speak her truth.
Yeah.
Now, whether it is pleasing to you or it's not pleasing to you, that is your business. She's just going to keep doing her.
And keep speaking what she wants. Because while going through a bit of comment and interaction on social media, I'm seeing people saying things like, she's not grateful, she's been an ingrate, she's won it before, she has so much. I mean, who defines so much for people? I mean, if someone is sitting and saying, okay, I'm at this level right now and I want to get to this other level, why would you, who is watching from afar? I mean, and she made some valid points on that particular interview where she was saying, people don't even know what she has. Like, you don't even know if she's eating well. You don't know if she has enough money, but you just assume that she has so much because she creates a particular narrative for her brand, for herself, for her person. And it's not looking like, Yusuf, sit down and let other people run the race.
And the question is, why should she even settle? Why? Why should she settle? People that have made money, Elon Musk still wants to make more money.
I mean, man is doing so much to get more money.
He probably has more money than he would ever be able to spend, right? So for someone who doesn't even have as much as that, who doesn't have as much as the richest,
who won as I won't even call it as little, but then that's what it is. If you're comparing to what they are winning now, who won about 30 million naira?
There are a lot of people in this Nigeria who have way more money than her. Obviously not in the spotlight, but they have way more money than her, and they are still working to get more money, to make more money. So why is it not okay?
Why is aiming for 120 million so much a dream to go for?
I think at the end of the day, you can never satisfy people, and people always
never
look for something to talk about. Never ever. So that's the thing. People
it's interesting to know that we share the same perspective on this particular conversation. And like I said, I probably would have come here maybe during the show. I probably would have sat on this couch to say, my Messi is doing too much. I bet I sit down, because at that time it appeared so. At the beginning where she was going, I'm here to prove a point. Like I said, it appeared so. But looking at it critically and how a lot of people are now beginning to attack ambition rather than, being logical about what is and what should be, I think that was where I made a U-turn, and I'm like, nah, it's never wrong to want so much. If you can keep going for the sky, the moon, and every planet there is, by all means, do not let anybody stop you from doing so. I know that you mentioned the issue of surrogacy and marriage, and, at a point she felt a bit, maybe because of the previous disappointment, right? Yeah. She was speaking about marriage in the light of, I don't think I want it anymore. And that takes me to another story that we saw, okay? And it's just really placing a lot of questions on the institution of marriage, how love can go sour, and how two people who were deeply in love can now come to social media to start dragging each other. Not just the dragging, but putting
The
innocent
kids in the
people,
middle.
innocent children in the middle of their war. It is a story of Dotun and his wife, or should I say
Ex-wife.
separated? Not
Yeah.
ex, because they're not
They're not
divorced.
even officially
They are
divorced.
still in court. So
Estranged.
separate, estranged, whatever grammar you want to put it. And it's been going on and on for a while now. And there are so many angles to this that if we even start, we cannot unwrap it in this episode. But the question is, how do people really get to this point where they can't help each other? It's now, and I don't know, it's really sad looking at it.
I've never been married, so I can't speak as someone who has an authority in that institution. But what I know about love, right, is love is a decision. I mean, yes, it stems from emotion, but along the line, it becomes an intentional decision. Right. So, because imagine not loving, imagine not having some form of empathy or sympathy for someone. And then going into marriage with them. That's going to be a very horrible experience. But then looking at the evidences that are being thrown at us all over social media, the costs of social media. Looking at all the evidence that have been thrown at us, first off, I said the cause for the filing of the divorce was based off what?
Abuse.
I
mean, she listed different types of abuse.
She mentioned abuse. She also said he forced her to abort the pregnancy of their third child while in the marriage and stuff. So again, we were not involved in that. But I mean, if that was the case, then fine and well. Nobody should ever stay in a marriage where you're being physically and emotionally tortured or abused and stuff like that. That's okay. But then, if the man or if the woman, whoever has custody of I'm speaking in general terms, now, whoever has primary custody of the child or children, if they were never negligent towards on their duties towards their children, if they were never abusive, right, towards their children, I see no reason why you should deny access. Right, because the issue is between the man and the woman. The children have no issue.
And I think that even the estranged wife, oftentimes, every time she comes online, comes to say that I acknowledge that you're a good father to the kids. And that brings me to this question. Is it possible to be a bad husband and be a good father?
Very possible. Very, very possible. I asked a friend this very recently. I said, whenever you pray for the future, because this is someone who regularly talks about how we can't wait to have children, this one, that one. So randomly, in a random conversation, I asked him, I said, I hear you constantly talk about how you want to be the best dad for your kids. Have you ever thought about what kind of husband you want to be to your wife? Because I feel like a lot of people, I mean, maybe not a lot, but sometimes people focus on how they want to be called world's best dad, world's best mom. But how about you being a very good person for your spouse, for your partner? Because people also make the mistake of saying, I've seen comments like that on social media when things happen, and then people say, you keep forgetting that your wife is not your blood, your kids are your blood. And I'm like, yo, that's
you brought them to this world. They are supposed to be the people even also say that the woman should focus on her kids. So there are times when things happen and you're like, the woman should, your kids is your children. When you give birth to your children, they should be your everything. They should be your world and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay. And there's another school of thought where people are saying, oh, your husband or your spouse should be everything to you because the children would go or leave both of you eventually and you would be, both of you would be all you've got, And I'm like, what school of thought should we really be sticking with? And I totally resonate with your thoughts on praying not just to be a good father, a good mother, but also praying to be a good spouse, a good husband to your wife, a good wife to your husband. Because at the end of the day, as much as we can separate both personalities, the two play a long role in what a happy family would be at the end of the day.
And then the question is, why do we even have to choose who to love better and who to love more between? Because you see, you see silly questions like, if you were to save, if the house was burning,
and you had to save your husband or your child, who will you save?
Please, can we stop bringing up those kind of silly scenarios? No, really now.
Like, why are we always wanting to choose? Why do
must we
society
choose?
pitch things against each other? And it's the same thing with career, where you're constantly pitching this artist versus this one, this actor versus that actor. I mean, it feels like we are always at the edge.
And very unpopular opinion, right? I was having a conversation with a female friend of mine, one of my close friends, and we're just, how you just randomly have discussions, and then issues about love and men and women and friends come up and stuff, and then I said, you do know you can have it all, because she mentioned something about, that as a person, it's not possible to have it all.
Everything.
I said, no, it is possible to have it all. I said, here's the thing. Nobody is perfect. So when you're choosing a partner, you're not looking for a perfect partner. However, it is possible to see all you want
in a
that
person.
So because when you start to tell yourself you cannot have it all, then you start to position yourself to settle for less, to settle for what,
and start choosing sides. That's when you get into a situation where you are in the should I choose this or this? Should I choose this or that? And you go on and on, making choices only because you feel like you see the need to settle, and not because those are the only options in front of you. Because at the end of the day, we have several options. You can choose perfection, even though we keep saying nobody is perfect. But there is something called near perfect. I mean, there is something that would be in your face, and you know that this is actually good for me, good enough for me. So it doesn't have to be a matter of okay, if you understand what I mean. So it's tough, watching all of these stories go around, and I'm trying as much as possible to not have us be the judge on this couch where we are giving you details of what is happening in their marriage, because at the end of the day, we're not there. We don't know what happened.
True.
A is saying you abused me. B is saying I did nothing.
Receipts. One is saying one is saying it was staged. Dotun mentioned that he showed us a video of when he went to pick up the kids.
The kids,
and
yes.
he said that he never used force and everything.
Another is saying there was force.
There was force and everything, and that he made up that video that he had approached with force and everything, and then he went back and did a
after
video,
apologizing to them.
Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, at the end of the day, we're not involved. Like, but we were not there when anything was happening. But the thing is, when things get messy, I don't think children should be involved.
Right.
The only time you should ever restrain a child or children from
being
a partner is if
being restrain your spouse from being in the life of your children.
Exactly, is if that partner is abusive towards towards the children, if he's endangering their safety, he or she's endangering their safety or their lives and whatnot. And also, now the question is, one said you are not giving me access to my kids. The other one says
you're not responsible.
Not that you're not even responsible. You know where your kids are.
And she also did mention that it wasn't responsible for them for a period of time, because I remember one of the long notes she wrote, she mentioned that because he wanted her to be in jail for contempt, right? He stopped looking out for the kids. He wasn't paying the school fees. I think she even said she had to withdraw them from a particular school to another school, and nobody was giving her money, even her parents, her brother. She was the one trying to hustle. She put them in a school she could afford. I mean, she said things like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like,
I saw that.
Whatever it is going on, these kids,
the whole situation, that
these kids should be left out of it. These kids should be left out of it, because the internet never forgets. There would always be these things around. It's just a Google search. As much as most of us or all of us on earth right now do not necessarily know where the internet age or time is going, we still know that maybe from some 30, 40 years from now, we're still probably going to have a Google where you will still be able to search these things as they might be kids now, but they will be adults at that time. And at that time, they would probably have to now start taking their own side, on whose side to be on if the parents continue like this. And I don't think it's worth it.
It's not worth it at the end of the day. Like I said, if there is no form of endangerment towards the kids, they shouldn't be denied access towards any spouse, because yes, there are single parents who have raised beautiful children, who have raised children with good characters and values.
But the lacuna will always be there.
Exactly. But that if there is an opportunity to have both father and mother in the lives of the children, please let them again, except there is any issue about endangerment
or abuse.
Exactly.
Guys, we could definitely go on and on with this, but just letting our thoughts in or throwing in our thoughts on some of these things we've seen on social media and how we feel about these things, and hoping that you can also share your thoughts with us in the comment section, okay, across social media platforms, and let us know if you're on our side or if you have a contrary opinion, which is actually fine. You know, we always say that on the Yeye Talk podcast, we don't take anything to heart, right? Exactly. And we say it as it is for both of us, and we allow you also let in your thoughts or throw in your thoughts on how you feel about what we see. Or, I mean, at the end of the day, say POV different, right?
But just make sure that whatever comments you're making, make them in love. With love. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because
your heart.
many madness is on the floor. Guys, we have to go now, but trust us to return, okay, with another beautiful conversation. And we definitely send in love and light to all of the case studies that we've had to look into today. Yes. And when we return next time, we'll probably be talking to a guest. Or looking into some societal issues, or just having fun, basically. You know that whatever it is that we do here, we do have fun with it. Till next time, my people, your double M's are about to sign out. Make sure you follow us across social media platforms and watch, stream, send this video to somebody, because I know they need it and they need to hear what we think, because on this side of life, we say the truth and nothing but the truth. Till next time, goodbye.